Hello, everyone and no one, and welcome to another Talking Into the Void. Okay, that's just whatever. Uh, Shit, I kind of lost my train of thought on that one. But with me, as always, is Tyr Alexander. Tyr, what you up to?
Back in my day. How you been?
And he peeks out.
Not so bad. Don't know if we're waiting on Angela if she can make it this tonight. But we got Will It Forge in the house with us.
I think she's hanging out with Cuisinart and Adam.
I'm not seeing him in his Discord
No,
server.
No, they're in town.
Oh,
yeah, they're in her city.
Dope. Good for them. I hope they have a great time.
Yeah, that's why she can't make it to. She won't be on Never Watch Alone.
And what's up, Clown?
Because she'll be hanging out with them. She'll be entertaining them.
You know, over the past couple days, I've watched the first 3 of the Death Wish series, and
I wish I had died.
Such an underrated set of movies. Like, the 4th one's good, the 5th one isn't near as good, but it's so great to watch it go from a thriller to a revenge than just a straight up action movie.
Yeah. I think my favorite of the Death Wish probably is number 3. Because he fucking has a minigun.
No, he doesn't.
Well, he has a wieldy automatic.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's a fucking minigun.
That's that.
I know, but as far as I'm concerned, it is.
No, it just follows the same thing that like the 44 Auto Mag went with. I think for the wieldy, they did it a bit better, though.
And he takes out you killed the giggler.
They killed the giggler, man.
The second one probably has one of my favorite. No, I think that's the first one. Where he says he doesn't like rich cunts.
Yeah, that's the first one. That's Jeff Goldblum.
And then the second one has Lawrence Fishburne.
Mm-hmm.
Who Jeff Goldblum gets away. That kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah. Like, you could kind of call the third movie a revenge movie, but it's not really. Because, like, he's not going after the creeps because of them killing his friend Charlie.
Yeah.
It's them going after the creeps who did, not going after him because.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he is basically contracted by the cops. Or by the one cop.
Hey, guns are illegal. You should keep that. You should have that thing.
What gun? They're illegal in the state.
Yeah. But you know what gets me about that entire situation? Like, there's a scene where the cops are all standing around, like, yeah, it feels nice about being out here, you know?
Yeah.
Just chill.
I think that's after he's killed the giggler.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't after he killed the giggler. It was after. Well, it was after he killed the giggler, but it was after they sent the one tall black dude after him and got him all hopped up on speed.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kersey ends up throwing him off a roof.
Yeah, God. And why does technically all the girls he falls in love with always end up fucking dying?
They don't.
They don't fucking make it through the entire movie.
The only one who does is in the second movie.
His wife, his daughter.
His love interest in the second movie is the radio chick, and she doesn't die.
Fair enough. The love interest in the fourth one dies because the final villain kills him.
Yes. And all the rest, yes, they die.
And then you got number 5.
And, well, that's because for some odd reason, you know, Kersey bought a car made of explodium.
100% explodium.
Why would you buy a car made of explodium?
I mean, the car gets pushed down a hill, goes into other cars, and it's like a somewhat more than light fender bender, and then not long after, explodes. When it shouldn't have exploded.
Seems self-defeating. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Seems self-defeating.
Look, I want, like everybody else, I want my car full of 100% explodium. That way, the slightest breeze What
happened? He doesn't get the shopping cart quite in the cart corral, and drifts back into the car, and half the parking lot blows up.
Pretty much.
Look,
hey, what's up, Badger?
Yo, Green. Yo, Clown. A leaf falls from the tree above my car, and it gently taps it.
Cars, but directed by Michael Bay.
It's kind of funny because they have that, and then earlier, I guess the parts he had to replace after the one creeps that he killed were trying to loot it because he was using it as bait. That's when it got replaced with the explodium.
Oh, Clown says Angela is sitting in his living room. Well, tell Angela we said hi.
And hope she's having a good night.
Yes. Watch out for those cars full of explodium.
Yes.
Like I said, self-defeating seems like to me.
Well, it's Hollywood.
What would you make your car out of?
There's got to be an explosion at least once in a lot of things.
Okay, I got a question. Well, what would you make your car out of if you had to?
Not explodium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you have to have a car that can explode at need, make it out of tannerite, because it's not going to blow up from a vehicle collision, but you can force that to blow up if you have to.
I will say it's funny because for that one, I just never understood that. It's like, we got to have this car explode. Why? Like, they could have easily put her in the hospital. And with the age of those vehicles, getting in a wreck, you can get pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
They didn't have what we would call modern day safety features. I don't know why I did the finger quotes.
Not like we can see them.
Yeah.
Oh God. Look. Like I know, if it's not a big explosion, it didn't happen. We all know she'll live.
I mean, in all reality, there was no reason for her to die. Like, it almost would have made more sense to do to her what they did to Miguel's wife.
Yeah, that made no sense too.
Yeah.
Like, they throw the old man off the fucking fire escape. He lives, barely a scratch. They break her arm. She fucking dies.
Yeah, well, the way they explained it was she got a blood clot that traveled to the heart.
The word
that'll
usually going to the lung or the brain that kills you.
Yeah. But you got to remember, this was early 70s. Let me scroll back up in here. Bam.
Fairly early 70s. Well, mid 70s.
Well, and I got to look up the movie called Vendetta because apparently Vendetta is very similar to like Death Wish, and then what I consider the spiritual sequel to the Death Wish series with Kevin Bacon, Death Sentence. It's another one to where it's another one to where the main character, one of his kids, gets killed, and he quote unquote can't identify, even though he saw who the attacker was. And what I saw of it is like the one who did, who was his gang initiation as well. He ends up hitting with a car and then beaten to death with an aluminum baseball bat.
I don't know. That seems like an awful lot of work.
Well,
hey,
you killed his son for no reason.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, but I mean, still, beating him to death with a bat is the part I was talking about. That's a lot of effort there. There are ways that don't make me work out half as hard.
William.
And it was 1985 was Death Wish 3. Sorry.
Okay. Charles Bronson did a movie, You're in the Navy Now, and his name was Wazowski.
Charles Bronson's been a lot of stuff. Is that it, buddy?
Yep. That's probably why he tried to kill you.
He doesn't try to kill me. His sister tries to kill me.
I've got to pick up some more Bronson films at some point.
And he was Machine Gun Kelly in the Machine Gun Kelly movie.
It is sweet, cute, adorable little Boo that tries to end me in every existence I take on.
Maybe she's the real psychopath of the group.
And apparently, the last movie that Charles Bronson wielded a
Death Wish
gun
5.
in was in Death Wish 5 in 1994.
Yeah, because he died in 80. He died in 03. 81 years old.
Dude had a hell of a
Wow.
career.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pick up some of his Old West stuff because he's got the face for Old West stuff.
Yeah. He was in a movie called Mr. Majeski or Majeski.
See, that's a really polite way, Rotten, of saying he looks like he got kicked in the face a couple too many times by the horse.
No, he looks like he smoked a pack a day, like 2 to 3 packs a day, every day since he was like 5.
Well, that's only
he
because
was
I
Like
did.
even when you're looking at for
Yeah.
him in the 70s, he still had the hard facial lines of
yeah,
like doing
yeah,
hard
he
work.
really did. He was in a western called what is it? Apache. He was Hundo.
He was in a western called The Meanest Men in the West. He's
I
done a
don't
good. He's
believe he
done a
was in
good.
Magnificent Seven.
Yep.
The original.
Excuse me. I've also got to see him in the Mechanic at some point.
He was in a movie with Elvis Presley called Kid Galahad. Forford, Texas. But that's a comedy western. That don't count.
All right. Got all the videos off my phone from recording earlier. And I'm going to give
Western is Western.
a little bit of a spoiler for not this week's video, but next week's video. Yeah, dude, that Radiant Ramjet, holy fuck, does that dampen recoil? Gotta label those all tomorrow. So since we've gotten to that, I'm gonna throw out a spoiler warning unless Tier's really wanting to play Resident Evil Requiem and doesn't want me to ruin the story for him.
Fuck if I care.
They kind of lined up Resident Evil Requiem to, in the most case, kind of be an end of the Resident Evil series. Like there might be one more game set for the future, but with the they kind of did a whole thing of like they did in the final Resident Evil movie, only it wasn't just an anti-T virus, it's just a straight up antiviral to go against any viral weapon.
You know, like I know they're gonna milk Resident Evil until that cow's tits are.
I mean, if they do it right, they
Just
got to
ash.
do what they did in Resident Evil 7. And it's introduce different characters. And then you don't do what you did in Resident Evil 8 to where what you did in Resident Evil 7, you over explain and then kill off the character.
Yeah.
Do
Now-
they ever not over explain?
Actually, yes, they rarely explain. Requiem goes back and forth between third and first. If you follow the way it's supposed to be played when you play as Grace, you play in first person. She actually aims the gun, but you don't see down the sights properly since she is an FBI agent. When you play as Leon, you play in third person. Now you can change it in game to do either as third or first person. With Leon, when you do upgrade some of his guns, other than like when you go into the kind of first person for any rifle with a scope, like when you upgrade to a red dot on your pistol, that goes to a first person when you aim. But it's not a bad game. It was definitely fun. I could have definitely done without the little Chloe game to where they kind of did the same thing where you're playing as Sherry, except for you're trying to get away from a bunch of other girls that have had their skulls opened up and stitched back open or stitched back closed. They're all bald and they're all fucking murderous.
Wow.
Dude, that one was like, I could have done without that shit. Especially to have it end that it's like, oh, you know, and Chloe looks the whole thing as a researcher comes up and she's like, hey, is that me? And do then get injected in the neck with something like, she's showing symptoms. Get rid of her. And it's like, I played all of that. You cocksuckers. You didn't need to do that.
You dirty fuckers.
Like, I'm fine if you want to make a game where, like, they kind of did with the Resident Evil 2 remake, where it's like you played some of the survivor stories and whatnot that did like an alt history thing towards like you could have played as someone who potentially survived. But yeah, for this one, you actually have it that Leon is not the man he once was, and it actually comes to find out that majority of the Raccoon City survivors have a latent mutated T-virus infection.
Makes sense.
So you actually have a choice near the end of the game to either release Elpis or destroy it.
So it's two endings.
Yeah, and if you choose to destroy it, you have to fight Leon.
Oh my.
Yeah, because he's infected. Apparently, so is Sherry Birkin, who he's working with. They still haven't brought anything up with Claire. I wouldn't be half surprised if she's not necessarily infected, considering the fact she's had all of them have had 6 different infections from different viruses.
Yes.
And she had that one fear virus for Resident Evil Revelations 2.
No, that wasn't Sherry. That was
no, that was Claire. I'm talking about.
Yeah, Claire was there.
Yeah, while I was going through the game, I was almost thinking that this was like an alt history one because it brought a lot more stuff for the flashbacks from the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Mm-hmm.
And with the way it seemed they were kind of retconning because they kept having Leon being like, I couldn't save anyone. And it's like, homie, you've brought up to several other people, yes, you could not save this person, this one person, but by finishing this whole thing, you saved thousands of other people.
You've saved more people than you killed.
Yes. But otherwise, all in all, not a bad game. And some of the guns in it were fucking sweet. I just was not a fan of the fact that they changed Leon's main pistol to a fucking 320. It's a cool looking 320, but I'd have much rather had him continue using his SADA SIG 226.
Doesn't he axe people?
Yes. And he can parry the fuck out of a lot of stuff.
Makes sense.
Well, some of it don't make sense.
No, it makes sense because all the shit he's been through.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I've seen the little
I've
shorts.
Seen a video of him
parrying a car.
Video of him parrying an RPG.
Yes.
Okay, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, apparently he's getting a little Devil May Cry action going on.
That's a crossover I want to see.
That's a crossover that should never happen.
Should never happen. I still want to see it.
I
remember Devil May Cry was originally supposed to be a Resident Evil game. So.
Yeah, for this game, they also brought back, they added the Maxim 9 in there for an alternate handgun, and the Magnum revolver is based off the RSH-12. And it's another 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock shot revolver. And I'm like, you cocksuckers, I want it. It fires a 12.75 by 55 millimeter cartridge. Now, that 55 millimeter is the length.
Ouch.
Yeah. I want it. Would I fire it? Not that often, but I fucking want it.
You gotta fire it at least once to say you have,
Mhm.
but wow.
And then they added a Taurus Judge into it as well, because it's one of the villain's weapons. And after you beat the game, you can get it. And apparently, they mislabeled it having it fire the same cartridges of the, I think, Russian revolver. Maybe it's Russian.
Really? The Ruskies.
Yes, it's a Russian revolver.
See, the thing with the Judge is, I mean, in concept, it's a really great self-escalating weapon because you can start small all the way up to
And
okay, now I'm trying to put a big hole in you.
in all reality, it's a bad compromise.
You mean
It does a lot of things okay that other guns do better. If you want to shoot a 410
Yeah.
shell, a 410 shotgun does better. If you want to shoot a 45 Colt, a 45 Colt revolver works better.
Yeah, no, not saying that there's not literally for every round some gun can do better. And also it's not saying that it completely functions as designed.
Yeah. Now, like I like
Which
the
is-
Governor better than the Judge that Smith and Wesson made because instead of the 5 shots, it's 6. Granted, for the Judges, you can get them up to the Raging Judge, where not only can it do 3-inch 410 shells, it can also do 454 Casull. But again, because of that cylinder for how long the gap is, when it goes, it's got a lot of extra play till it goes into the forcing cone.
Yeah,
But-
just that difference between concept gun and one that's really practical.
Oh, I mean, it's Resident Evil. They're fucking known for franking guns. And Resident Evil 6, they made a 500 Magnum break action revolver with like a 13-inch barrel.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the 500 the Magnum revolver that Sherry and Jake use.
Jesus.
And they've also been known to get like ammo wrong, because in the Resident Evil 2 remake, when you get the Desert Eagle, they anarchistically made it anachronistic, whatever. Anachronistically made it 50B or not 50 BMG, 50 Action Express when the game is set in time. That round hadn't been made yet. But it's the same when they did the Resident Evil 3 remake. They put it in a 44 Action Express, which was never made.
Hey, I mean, if you're doing fictional, semi-fictional stuff anyway.
I mean, I find it amazing that you can accept zombies, not anachronistic guns.
Oh, I didn't say I can't accept it. I find it hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still love the fact that they had their homage to the first Terminator movie in the original and remake of Resident Evil 4 with the Killer 7, which was a thing to one of their other games called Killer 7, where they have the 1911 with the massive laser on top.
I'm still pissed off at that fucking game.
And yeah, Badger, it most likely would destroy the locking block holding it unless it was made fucking massive, which basically would mean that when the gun's empty, it doubles as a bludgeoning device. Which a 500 Magnum already does, but it's going to have to be even bigger. Like, that fucker's going to weigh like 10 pounds.
Say all guns double as a bludgeoning device. The question is just how good a job do they do at it?
Yeah.
You're saying you think the remake sucked here?
Yeah, Resident Evil 3. All right, so in the original Resident Evil 3, she powers up the Powdertronic laser, and then it fires on its own. And then she says, "You want stars? I'll give you stars," with her gun.
Yeah.
You know, when she
Oh,
kills whatever.
I definitely
needed
agree
left
that
in it.
was one of the dumb things they did. Also, like
Yeah,
for the
she.
2 remake of basically having, other than minor splits of where the game goes, you go down the exact same route regardless of which character you play.
Yeah, but the fact that she holds a motherfucking rail, she soaking wet. Jill is maybe 210. It should have atomized
I'd
her.
put her more at like a max up $180, closer to like $160.
210 with, and she was in fucking. Yeah, that thing should have destroyed her. And she holds it like it's fucking nothing. It again.
I mean,
I
she
can
had
take
to
zombie-
lumber with it, but she didn't hold like it was nothing. She's not pulling a Chris Redfield and punching
Yeah,
boulders.
punching a in a volcano that should be fucking scalding hot.
Yeah.
There should be no way they could fucking fight in that environment. Like you are in the crater of the mouth of a fucking volcano on rock. You should be dead.
Pretty sure Gun Talk gets the same response. Me bringing up deathmatch wrestling, huh? Probably. That's why the Gun Talk, if it didn't last near as long, is just me having my gripes about that. I mean, it's not something like, the Fallout game, not Fallout, the Far Cry games that are set in universe, or Call of Duty, where you're expecting more realism.
Well, even with the Far Cry games, I don't expect complete realism from that.
Yeah.
They are set in most of them are set in fictional countries, except for 5, which was set in like what I forget which state it was set in, or the setting. It was a rural.
One of the
state.
like more rural northern Midwestern states.
Yeah.
Closer to one of the mountain ranges.
Yeah. So pretty much set in America, and take a pick. Montana, Wyoming, all of them could fucking fit. And you had U.S. Marshals, so you really didn't have a.
And people lifting up cars in a time of crisis is the body to save itself or someone else, allowing you to use your full strength.
Yeah,
and
the limits are overridden
up your body afterwards. Because quite literally, quite literally, to use your full strength, if you're to use 100% of it, you will detach muscle from bone. Like, I think it's the average person can do. I think it's like, I'm probably wrong on this one. It's like 30 to 40. And some people with proper training and everything and mental capacity, I think can get up to like 60, 70 maybe. And I might, again, I'm probably quoting it wrong. But we're also limited in strength because, unlike other primates, we have more fine motor skills.
It's a trade-off.
Yep.
Yeah. We traded in brute strength for we traded in strength for dexterity.
It's we're better with tools.
Mm-hmm. That's why the whole, in all reality, if you look at what animal could you beat in a fight is dumb, because if we're looking at the traits humans can use, well, because of that, I can use guns and other stuff. So there's technically nothing I can't beat, unless you're talking that's why it always goes into the whole thing of like, well, no, it'd be like bare-fisted and naked. It's like, if I gotta fight that thing bare-fisted and naked, I fucked up a long time ago.
Yeah, you're in a situation where you should never fucking have gotten involved in. But I cast gun.
Yeah.
And it was super effective.
I might not be out of, it's like, I might be out of spells, but I'm not out of shells.
Well, I got one last spell slot. What is it called?
Alakablam.
Alakablam.
Alaka.
And it is super effective.
See, that's the thing that all right. So that's the thing I've always had an issue with, like Harry Potter. Guns are so much more fucking effective than actual fucking magic.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where going into in reading the Dresden Files of like when he brings up the somehow the his magic affects like somehow affects like a car, like mechanical things. So when they have the one thing of them trying to use machine pistols, it starts fucking with like their rate of fire. It's like, homie, I could kind of understand it fucking with electronics. Fucking with mechanics doesn't make sense to me.
I cast volley of lead.
Yeah, sheer mechanical disruption's a bit iffy at best.
I mean, technically, a mechanical, as defined at my job, a mechanical device is anything with gears, screws that had to be manipulated to work. That is a mechanical device. An electronic anything that runs on electricity, battery power, or whatnot.
Yeah. And that's where it would make sense, considering the fact if he gets too close to a computer that's turned on, he'll fry it. But a gun that's having a chemical reaction and whatnot, something like that, makes no sense.
Because he's acting as a capacitor.
Again, it makes sense for the electronics. It doesn't make sense to me for the guns.
Well, not a capacitor. What is it? He's acting as a battery, a large portable battery.
Basically an EMP field.
There it is. Makes sense. It should fuck with electronics. Like, so he could never drive a Tesla.
Yeah.
Couldn't drive any current modern vehicle.
Yeah, what's the reason why they set it back in, like, I think it's the 70s.
Yeah, you kind of have to go back pretty close to that far to get fully analog vehicles.
He's driving a station wagon, VT.
But like they have it that somehow his magic affects like semi-auto handguns, and it's like, homie, that don't make sense if it can affect a semi-auto handgun, but it doesn't affect a revolver. God. That's bad writing. I like the series, but that's bad writing.
I'll agree with you there.
Hey, what's up, Keishel?
You okay? Maybe he should use the warp.
Well, in that one as well, for if you've ever read the Dresden Files, he doesn't cast spells like everyone else. It's done partially with words, but it's done more with feeling. You have to feel the magic and
got to feel the magic in you.
Just kind of make it go. It's weird sometimes. But in that one as well, they do the whole thing of like knowing like a magical creature or another person of magic, knowing your full name can give them sway over you.
The control of the true name.
Yes.
I should never tell you my true name.
Okay. Because like later on they have it that he ends up dealing with one of the fairy queens. Because the fairies, or the fae, their kingdoms are based on the seasons.
Okay.
And gay. They're gay.
And then he's also got some weird thing of like a Knights Templar type thing that actually wield holy swords. Plus there's somehow fallen angels that are evil that are stuck in a specific coins. So if someone who doesn't have like if they were to possess a magician, they get even more, or a wizard, they get even more power. But like if a regular person picks them up, they get possessed by that coin. So it has to be basically like covered to where regular skin doesn't touch it. Plus there's vampires, and vampires aren't the shiny fuckers. They are ugly and horrendous.
They're like James Colley, except they suck blood.
Them scary bastards. Like vampires are supposed to be.
Then there's the one to where you go to the one he goes to the one vampire's birthday party and ends up meeting a dragon. And it's funny because to fuck with people, the dragon has a cigarette in his hand, but it's not lit, but he still blows smoke.
Okay.
That's what we call a dick move.
Let's see how that might mess with a few people here and there.
Well, at that party, it's a lot of magical creatures.
Yeah, but it's one of those things you do, mess with people's perception. Is,
Mhm.
Here, I'm worse. I'm worst here. I thought, can you feel the magic in the air?
I think that's a different song.
Oh, my bad.
Or a
It's all
different
fucking.
tune.
I've never heard that.
a reference Tier doesn't get. I'm appalled.
Color me shocked. Color me shocked.
Let
And
me find my
surprised.
shock somewhere around here.
But I am the shocked Pikachu. Someone throw a Pokeball at me.
Yeah. I will say that the next time I do a final thoughts on a freaking optic, I need to put like 20, 30 rounds down range beforehand because holy shit was I shaking like a bitch for some odd reason. Only had 2 over anticipations though.
Yeah, I think 30 Days were the best portrayal of vampires. I like 30 Days and Night.
It's a good one. I still like it when the vampires look even less human. Like those ones were grotesque and had pure brutalness. Brutality.
Yeah.
You got no god.
Okay, this is I just threw in the Discord DMs a pistol I would like to try shooting once.
Oh, a open top old Colt Navy or Navy revolver.
With the old loads and the percussion caps.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of kick.
I would like to try that one.
If it's a open top one like that, it doesn't have a rear sight either. When you cock the hammer back, the hammer has a V notch in it. That's your rear sight. I own one.
Dang.
Oh, they're freaking cool. They're a bitch to clean.
Yep, there's the notch in the hammer. Look like they're a pain in the tail to load too.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a time consuming because those are ones you got to put into a half cock, and then you want to like depend. It all depends on how you're gonna load it. If you're gonna load it with like regular black powder instead of compressed black powder capsules, you got to make sure you put the percussion cap on. Otherwise, it can go out the back of it.
Oh, it drains out the nipple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Weston
then-
made those guns look cool.
And then technically,
oh yeah, I could just,
a lot of those you want to if you're going to be carrying it for a while, you actually want to put grease or like Crisco or something over the top of it to help give it a better seal. Now, if you're just going to shoot it for fun, you don't have to do that. It still is kind of recommended though. And then dependent on which one you get and what caliber, whether it's in a 38 or a 45 caliber, I don't necessarily know you can do it too often with the top action, the top break one, or not top break, open top ones, but with the old Army black powder ones, you can get a switch out cylinder that can fire 45 Colt as long as it has a full steel frame.
I'll be back, guys. I'm going to make me a cup of tea, or at least turn my kettle on so I can give me a cup of tea in a few minutes.
Yeah, black powder guns are
So-
fun though.
Yeah, my last round with black powder was Dad Forge's black powder rifle, and
And they have,
the gun weighed like 25 pounds. It still kicked like a mule.
oh yeah.
You know what I would like to try? I know Rodden has one. I want to try a Mare's Lake. A Mare's Lake.
Well, I gotta visit since the gun shop I go to is reopening on Tuesday. I gotta go stop by there this week and ask about if they've heard anything from it, because the one I have,
Mhm.
again, finger quotes, not even 18 rounds into it and the fucking tang cracked.
Oh, that ain't right.
Yeah. So I gotta see what's going on with that.
Yeah. So you all heard of the Western the rifleman?
Yeah.
He had a Mare's Lake, and I want a Mare's Lake.
He carried a rifle around most of the time.
But the gun he used in the opening crawl was a Mare's Lake.
Hmm.
It stupid ass thing, but it was like he's the rifleman, and he had the Mare's Lake with. Oh, no, what one?
Yeah, and with the Remington New Army, as long as it's the full steel frame, which they usually are, Badger, you
Mhm.
can get the swap out cylinder that
All right, going to make
when
this,
you
come on.
go to reload it, you have to pull the entire cylinder out. Because that's like, I've got an Uberti. I can't remember the name of the year of it, but an open top Navy revolver that was converted to take 38 special, but it cannot do all 38 special. Because a lot of modern 38 special, if I put a round in, sticks out the other end of the cylinder a bit. So I'm gonna have to look into like some 38 cowboy action or 38 wide cutters.
So it's always to make sure it's the right ammo for the gun.
Well, it's a 38 special, and I shot in 38 special out before, so I picked up some more. But sometimes the projectiles, when they're heavier, get a bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, flintlock would be cool. I'd only want to do that one for a rifle. I know. I think Grantham did a video on them. I liked the one that Administrative Results did, where you got him and Vintage Warfare on there, and both of them just threw in really bad accents. And Tier would like Admin Results, considering the fact like his favorite stuff is typically like British guns, and it's always talking shit about the French. Gotta go get the
Okay.
French.
FRT 12 gauge shotgun with a magazine.
Yeah, that is the Genesis 12.
Yep.
Was used, I think, in the 4th John Wick movie. And there's not, well, the funny thing is even though Terran Tactical did their stuff to it, there's not much difference between the Terran and the regular Genesis 12.
I mean, that right there is a mob clearer.
Yeah. I'd like one, but I just can't justify the price. After shooting the Radiant Ramjet, I can justify its price. And once I get the optic on Wednesday and then can go start testing it, if that CV Life does well, I may have a new home defense gun, because I can understand why Radiant puts the frickin' Radiant Weapons puts the price tag on there. It's a precision barrel with one hell of a fucking compensator combo.
See, that goes into that if I win the lottery, it's not going to be telling people, but there be signs.
Well, I mean, the Radiant Ramjets go depend on the model. Most of them go for like around 380 something, and then obviously you're going to have tax and whether or not you order it from them. So it's not a god awful price. It's not like buying a Trigicon optic to where you're like, okay, come on.
The thing being that it's part of the signs is gonna it's not a one here, a little bit, of this and then of that. It is a arsenal.
And Badger, if you wait until next Tuesday, I'm doing all of my different Glock barrel comparisons that I have. So the kind of ported, the slightly chunk port, one from the Glock store, a threaded barrel with a comp, and then the Radiant Ramjet. Obviously having the original Glock or Gen 3 Glock as the how it's going to be without anything like that. Me and my dad went through watching some of the slow motion, and dude, that fucking Radiant Ramjet. Oh Jesus Christ, does it tame that recoil? It's like 9mm doesn't have a lot anyways, but holy fuck, brother.
Yeah, I can't do Gen 3 Glocks without hurting myself. It's a hand size thing.
Well, they make them for the Gen 5s. No.
The Gen 4 and the Gen 5, they've got like aggressive beaver tails available. And I don't like the feel of it, but it does, at least the action doesn't cut up my hands.
Yeah, once you get, like, I'd recommend if you're gonna do it, go with a 5. It's just better. But like they only make them for. All right, go to barrel comp, Radiant weapons, pistols, the Ramjet with afterburner. They make them for the Glock, for the Ruger RXM, the Shadow systems, and then for the Sig Sauer, I think the 320, yeah, just the 365s. So you got one for the 365, 365X, and then one for the 365 XL and X Macro. So if you like the way the Ruger RXM feels, or like the Shadow Systems guns, they make one for it.
See, actually, I really much I like the way my VP9 feels.
Yeah, I'm almost, because they're supposed to be pushing out and plausibly looking at some different ones. I'm almost super tempted to contact them, being like, hey, if I send my H&K P30 into you, will you make a Radiant Ramjet for it? Like, I'll gladly just shell out like $800 for it. I don't even care. Yeah, the nice thing about the Glocks over the VP9 is the fact they do have less parts and they're easier to work on by yourself.
Fair point.
But contrary to what some people like to think as well, to quote, it's Dana something from NASCAR, when they brought up her not knowing the mechanics and everything, or the mechanical system and everything of her car, and she's like, yeah, I don't need to know, I'm the driver.
You need to know a little bit of it.
She's like, I know this much, that's what my crew is for.
Yeah, you need to know enough to be able to communicate effectively to your crew what they need to do. And beyond that, no, you really don't need to know nothing.
Oh, yeah, the PO7's a good gun. Like, I'd honestly sway less people towards the Gen 3s unless they're going with something a bit different. Like, it works for the Glocks. But yeah, like, well, her thing was she didn't know like all of the ins and outs. She's like, I know enough to communicate what I need to my guys.
Yeah, and that's the driver. That is all you need to know.
Otherwise, she's like, I don't need to know how to wrench on it. That's not my job.
And it doesn't hurt if you do know how to, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm. And plus, with the way they do a lot of the things now, they got sensors and all that shit out there that sends the shit directly back to the crew.
Assuming, of course, everything is working perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely hoping the Radiant Ramjet gets put out to a couple more guns. Like there's supposed to be that Canic that is coming out with a Radiant from the factory. Radiant and Canic did a thing together on one of their Metkey models that got released at SHOT Show.
You can just settle in.
Now I'm back. Fuck the French.
Curl up on brother's head.
Yeah, Tier, you should look up the YouTube channel Administrative Results and look up his stuff on either his flintlock rifles or when he does the longbow stuff.
Administrative Results.
And Badger, when it comes to, if you're looking at the 19 or like the 19X or the 45, majority of the parts are interchangeable. The only nicer thing for the Gen 3 is because it's no longer as patented, there is so many extra parts for it. Like in all reality, for me, if I were to recommend someone who wants a Gen 3, I will probably piss some people off in the community for this one, but I would recommend buying a PSA lower and then just building out an upper however you see fit. I'm not as big a fan of the hinge trigger. It is not as easy to take down as a regular Glock. But I would either say like them or like Nomad Defense. I think there's like one more that I'm missing when it comes to frames.
See, and as far as the Glock, the one that I shot that I really liked is something you'd be able to get on essentially any Glock, because it was a competition grip. And basically I could take and with thumb and middle finger hold the gun completely stable. You could thumb and pinky, you could hold the thing and shoot it and keep control because the grip is just that aggressive.
Yeah. And yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the Ruger RXM. The only thing I have heard is that if you're wanting to change over from one color grip to another, you got to be careful because there is one part that you can lose that will make the gun slightly inoperable.
That's kind of self-defeating.
Well, because the way they went about doing their fire control unit is a little different than how it's done for like the 320 or the 365, which it's looking like for if anyone who follows it, the 320 might be getting discontinued.
Couldn't have happened to a better gun.
Well, the reason being is one, they have had the issues for it. And basically, since they've come out with that P211, they're basically counter to the double stack 2011s that takes a 320 mag, and basically making now a couple different 365s that are basically full size guns. They've pretty much made the 320 obsolete. Like if the freaking SIG 211 would come out with a compact grip, I would probably buy that just because I have a 320 compact that it's never going to go to the range again, most likely. And I just want something to be able to can use those fucking mags.
One of those guns is like, okay, I am never loading this thing again.
I have had no issues with it. You can go through and look up a thing. Like there's also been a few things online that you can like look up to 3D print to add to your gun that'll flat out get rid of the whole thing of its plausible discharge. That's like if this I still wish that this I think apparently the site went down. But it came out years ago and apparently didn't get too much traction. But it was a Verwapen, Vuurwapen, and it was the HMC9 frame. It was a clone of the SIG 320 or SIG not 320, the SIG 365, the original, that would use the 365 mags, but it accepted a Glock upper. So for the G43 or 43 or for the 48. And I was like, of course, I had to learn about this shit years after it, and they don't have it.
I just realized what I'm going to do. Not this year, but near future year bonuses. We'll get myself a pair of Stealth 1911s. Because I want my custom build, but I gotta have the Perry the Platypus.
See, like they are also for the Stealth Arms making one that accepts the 320 mags, but it only accepts the 17 round. And even Stealth Arms has gone away from what they were talking about of making the Platypus and other calibers. And it seems like predominantly they've just focused on keeping it full size.
Hey, I'm perfectly fine with a full-sized gun.
Well,
I'm big enough for a full-size carry gun and everything. I'm probably big enough for a full-size backup carry gun.
They were talking about making one that would accept the G19 mags, so the 15 rounds, and there was even where they were working on one that would like work with the G26 mags.
No, I get that, and you know, I'm also for versatility in firearms. And the thing is, I want my, I have the regular customized for carry, and then the Perry for home defense, because I kind of figure that if you get ventilated with a Perry the Platypus 1911, even Satan laughs you off.
The one thing I will give Stealth Arms that I think they did really right with their Platypus is when you set it up for an RMR optic, they actually keep more material on the slide, because the slide gets made per the thing. So if you go with a RMR, it's actually a widened slide of where that optic mounts in direct mounts.
All I gotta say is fuck the French. Frog eating motherfuckers. Sorry.
I don't have an issue with all of the French people, just some of them.
Enough of them.
Look, I'll tell you right now, though, if I won the frickin' lotto, which I keep hoping to, one, I'd buy a property, but two, I would be buying a couple guns from Langdon Tactical.
I'd be buying a couple of guns from everywhere. Tier, for your anti-French sentiments,
yes,
DMs.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, you'll like it.
Good case of war.
But the biggest thing I would be doing if I were to, like, my next plan after, like, the one bougie style gun is I'm probably going to look into a bull armory, but I'm going to eventually go through and buy a couple more Beretta Brigadiers so I can make the a bare bones basic Samurai Edge, and then the Revelations 2 Barry Burton Samurai Edge.
Nice.
I would love to try to make the Wesker one, but that fucker don't exist, that frame. Only way I'd be able to do that would be like to take one of the single action ones they make and kind of build that one out. Because see, that's why it's like I don't mind the Franken guns of Resident Evil, but I like them when they're based off actual guns, so then I can find them and buy them. Because like I still want an FN57 pistol, the original, only because of Resident Evil 4. It's the same reason why I want a H&K SL8. And I've held the FN57 pistol, and it's fucking terrible. I am apparently very contradictory to a lot of people in the community because when it comes to FN's guns, I think their grip is fucking atrocious. Maybe their newer ones is better, but like I know like Polydub loves the FN45 or the FNX Tactical 45. I fucking hate the grip on that gun. Actually, they didn't give us fries. That was based off a guy whose last name was Fry, if I remember correctly. Kind of like while hamburger, the whole aspect of it came from Germany, the actual sandwich of the hamburger is an American creation.
Just like Belgian waffles aren't traditionally Belgian. They were just what the creator named it to distinguish his waffles.
Mm-hmm.
And the French didn't give us fries. It was technically the Irish, but we wanted to piss off the Irish, so called them French.
No, I thought for that one. Oh no, it wasn't the last dude's name was Fry. The last dude's name was French, if I remember correctly. The dude's last name.
Mm-hmm. French is fries.
Mm-hmm.
But like everything, we kind of shorten it.
But then there's
French
like
fries.
a very popular, what's considered a Chinese dish. It's one of the soups or whatnot that was actually made by a Jewish guy in the States. Hawaiian pizza is not even from Hawaii. It's originally a Canadian creation.
It's only called Hawaiian because pineapple.
Yep.
And even Kanakistani bacon isn't necessarily the actual bacon. It's just ham.
Yeah.
It is strips of thin ham.
Yep. And then the bacon down in Australia is actually similar to American bacon. They just leave a portion on that's typically cut off.
Yeah, like we cut off.
That's why it looks like a
we
dick.
cut off the skin. We cut off the top layer of skin.
Well, they use that to make crackle.
Crackling.
Yeah, crackling. No, like they have a thing to where it's like if you look at Australian bacon, it's longer and almost looks phallic shaped, like it has nuts. And that's just a big old chunk of meat that they cut off of the bacon in the U.S.
Oh, it's just yeah.
You know, just sitting here, just one more well-prepared pork product. Good bacon.
And did you know I had a friend that went to he lived in Israel for a bit, and the concept of chicken breast isn't a thing. We call it chicken breast here because it's just what we call it. It isn't a thing in Israel. Because she wanted chicken breast, and he said he said the proper words for chicken in chest, which would be chicken breast, and the shopkeeper's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
So what do they call it?
I don't remember. This has been ages ago. But it is when someone that lived in the States corrected him. I know that part of the story. Like it's not called that here. It's called something else, and I could clearly tell you're from America.
I mean, if they want to be wrong, they can be wrong. I mean, it
is what it is.
And they're gonna be wrong. They're gonna be wrong. It happens.
And poutine is the national dish of France, Kanakistani.
French Canucks.
Mm-hmm. And fuck the French Canucks.
Les Québécois.
And fuck the Creole too.
Hey, say whatever you want about the French Creole. They can cook.
That's why I always think it's funny when people are like, white people can't cook. And it's like, dude, do you not know of like the Irish and the French?
Well, not even that.
And technically the Italians?
It's not even that. It is a so
calm down, breathe.
It is a different style of cooking.
Yes.
It's a different style of cooking.
The whole thing, whenever it comes to like Americans, typically like white liberals, whenever they think of white people food, it's either like Karen in the suburbs who doesn't add any spice because she's dumb, or
she doesn't need to,
or it's like school, hospital, or prison food to where they don't look at the whole thing of as much a flavor, and it's more about the nutrition.
Well, not even that, Rod. It's so who puts sugar in their fucking spaghetti?
Huh?
Sugar in your spaghetti. That is a typically black thing to do. But traditional spaghetti doesn't have sugar.
Well, we also can't forget, this is also coming from not all of them, but a thing of showing a culture of people that bleach or wash their chicken with dish soap.
Yes, and each time I hear that, I want to smack some. Not you, but I want to find the person that do that. I want to smack the fuck out of them.
Yeah, which is why those types of folks have to overwash or overspice their chicken, because they got to get that taste out of there. Now, with like the spicy fried chicken, that came to be because a black husband had pissed off his black wife. And I don't even remember what he had done. He didn't cheat on her or anything, but it had like something to do with him having to work late so often. So she made him super spicy fried chicken to get back at him and whatnot. And he fucking loved it.
Joke's on you. I'm into that.
He's just like, babe, I don't know what you did, but this chicken is delicious. I fucking love it. God, I love you, woman.
Yeah, well, if I had $1 for every time a woman's spite backfired, I'd have retired at age 10.
All right. Do I want to play something in the background as we talk? But I don't know what.
Meth. Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, I was thinking about doing that Chinese thing with the needles. Not acupuncture, heroin.
Heroin, yeah. See, no, heroin's that bougie shit. You know, you gotta do meth.
And Clown, yeah, there are like little restaurants and whatnot in hospitals that can actually make good food. But what I mean is, typically when you're looking at what is given to patients,
well, yeah,
is very nutrition and dietary restrictive.
Yeah, that's it. They don't even add. They specifically make it bland too, unless they have instructions that the patient can have the seasoning. So, it's the worst meatloaf I've ever had in the hospital, and nobody told them I could have seasoning, so it was beyond bland. It's like, how do you ruin this?
What's up, Soviet Shark?
Like, I'm in here for ketoacidosis, not high blood pressure or something else.
Aeropuncture keeps the balance. Yeah, because like when I was in the hospital for my appendix, the stuff was so bland. Even the burger I got later on. The only time I got super pissed was when they were like, "Oh, hey, you can have this soup," and I don't know if it was just technically broth or they actually pureed it, but it was something else. I can't remember what the other one was, and chicken noodle. And I was like, at the time, just like, "Fuck yeah, chicken noodle soup! I am so down." A little bit of noodle, a little bit of chicken, and they either just brought me chicken noodle freaking broth or they pureed it, and I was so pissed.
Wow.
Guy decided to tried to sell me a casket. It's the last thing I need. Well, hey Badger, didn't want to go into this because I didn't think it was appropriate for the stream, but we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Yeah.
That's always my favorite thing to do for some people and whatnot. Like, especially some random stream you go into, it'd be like either that one or it's like, "Hey, we've been trying to reach you. You're in a coma. Wake up."
They're gonna unplug
Hey.
the life support. If you don't wake up in the next 5 days, you have to wake up.
We miss
You
you
can save
so
a whole
much.
bunch of money by switching your car insurance to Geico.
Oh, it's always fun though with the coma one. If you if you're ever in like playing some game where you got the voice chat and you're in with a bunch of randos, just find one person after a bit and just be like, "Please wake up. We miss you."
He just wants you to live.
You gotta be able to, cut back your laughter, so you gotta be able to play the part. But if you get the right person and they're under the influence of the right drugs, oh, you can fuck with someone.
Damn it, Ryden.
Oh, right. Have you seen the thing on Twitter about the person posting about the US sending A10s?
Oh yeah.
Really?
They can't do so. They're so unequipped. They're saying A10s. It's like, you realize an A10 will fuck shit up, right?
It's like,
An 8.
okay, you don't have the air defense that can handle an A10. And your boats don't stand a chance.
What boats?
Exactly.
like they. Excuse me, sir. They only have submarines. They don't have boats. They only have submarines, my friend. Yeah, gotta get that one right.
God, now they're going over that whole thing of like VA fraud. When 90% of people don't realize when it comes to the whole thing of it being employable, not employable. Are there people that abuse the system? Yes. And they should be found. And that. But basically getting pissed, being like, well, we need to look at the VA fraud, but not look at the foreigners from other countries committing fraud in our country.
I want to look at all fraud.
We can look at both, right?
We can let's look at all the fraud. Okay, timeout for this one because it just says Chuck Norris's email is gmail@chucknorris.com. Yeah, I saw that A10 thing that I saw that electrician's reply, response to it, and then everybody else is like, don't they know? Has no one told them?
Man, I'm half tempted to re-download this.
What?
One of the games that I really had a lot of fun in was Guild Wars.
Okay. So you're like, man, I'm really tempted to re-download this. And it's like, I don't know what that is.
It's a MMO.
Yeah. No, once you said it was Guild Wars,
tiers,
like, okay, I understood that, but you're like, I want to re-download this. Dude, you left this hanging. It for all I know, You're wanting to re-download a screensaver.
It's
No.
tier, so it's probably 2 girls, 1 cup.
No, it's not. But no, so I played the original Guild Wars when it came out. Like, I had a lot of fun with it as a kid. Like I think when I got my job, my first actual job, I bought that game, and I had a lot of fun with it, and just bring up old memories.
Iran attacking energy that the global communities need. That's the entire point of tying up all the countries together, so they fall together. Don't want any nation to survive on its own. Yeah, I mean, majority of the oil used by the U.S. isn't even strictly from the Middle East. We actually take majority of the oil or the crude that we're gonna make to the gasoline and kind of make a slaw or slew of it that's all mixed together. Whether it be
Controversial
the,
opinion. I
do
think
a-
we should
we
start
do a
working toward
blend.
that.
well, whether it be the stuff from Canada or the stuff from overseas and our own.
Controversial opinion. I think we should start trying to get away from oil and find a different fuel source.
Oh yes, we definitely need to.
Like, I don't care about like running out and shit. That's not my concern. Like, running out, fuck that shit. But my concern is I'm tired of being beholden to fucks who, oh well, you can't build this pipeline because it's going through Indian preservation land, and we haven't did shit with this land for like 100 billion fucking years. But we don't want your pipe that will be safe and secure going through it.
We're just the last native tribe to hold this land after it was conquered by us. Then, it was we conquered it from this tribe that conquered it from that tribe that conquered it from this other tribe, and so on.
Yeah,
and so on,
and so forth. But it is our sacred land. Like, no, it's America. Go the fuck away.
Well, it's like the whole thing of we need to start actually building fucking nuclear reactors.
We've been needing to do that for decades.
Yes. Yeah, the petrol dollar. Look, I know a lot of dominance comes from the petrol dollar, but if we as a country, we need to move away from it.
Yep.
All wars, banker wars.
Yeah.
Debt-based currency, not a currency, it's slavery. Yeah. Just like the gold standard.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, that shit was thought of before World War I, and there was a lot of fucked upness to that.
yes. But it is what it is, and it is what it ain't.
That's like moving the fucking GDP of the US from manufacturing to fucking real estate for some stupid ass reason. And here we are still with that temporary income tax.
100 years later.
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing as permanent as a temporary government program
Mm-hmm.
of any kind.
What do you mean? That's not true.
Says the government employee.
All I can think of is the old joke I used to tell my brother when he was in prison and I was still in the service. I was like, yeah, bro, we're both owned by the government. They just pay me better.
Wow. Wait a minute.
He laughed. I don't care.
That's kind of fucking true.
Yeah.
Well, I take that wow back.
No, you just changed the inflection.
Wow.
Instead of the wow of like, how dare you, be the whole thing of like, huh.
Wow.
Wow.
But that is true. You just are paid better. Huh. Well, at least you were being paid. I'm doing it for fucking free.
We've been through this. No, you're not.
I
You're
know, I
doing
just
it for the
keep-
promise of back pay.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I know they had to pay me. Like, I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, the centralized banking thing was fucking stupid. And then the fact
Yes.
that the whole thing of like the Federal Reserve isn't even a part of the fucking government, so it shouldn't be called the Federal Reserve.
Honestly, it should be. It should be under the Department of Treasury. Like,
Mm-hmm. If it's going to be
should
that,
be under the Department
it
of
should be
Treasury.
under the part of the Treasury.
Just like, as much as I hate to say this, TSA should be under the Department of Transportation.
Yeah.
Like, it really should be. It shouldn't be under DHS. Now, we should have a close relationship with DHS. A real close relationship, but we shouldn't be under them.
Yeah, it should be a thing to where it's a mixture of both, but it predominantly falls underneath transportation.
Yeah, because it is transportation. Our stated mission is protecting transportation and commerce.
Mm-hmm.
It says it in the fucking name. Mm-hmm. And all out the other agencies like FAMS and whatnot should be they I forget what transportation's enforcement wing is. Oh fuck, because they do have a quote unquote enforcement arm, if you will.
I mean, the
Who
fucking
does
post office has its own SWAT team. That
yeah,
can go
post
through-
office has its own SWAT.
that can go through, and the post office can say whether or not something's supposed to be shipped through them or not.
Yeah,
there was-
they do. There are post officers.
Yeah, because there was the one freaking fuck, what was it? Like company that to get around it for their bills and want it to be paid, it's like to be sent out and stuff. They were marketing it as like priority, whatnot, so then it could be sent through something that wasn't the post office until they came in. The post office was like, nope, that can't be sent that way. That can't be sent that way. That can't be sent that way. Has to be sent through us. And like, it wouldn't be so
You
bad
can't
if the
avoid
post
it.
office fucking worked better. Fucking unions.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound anti-union because I fucking am. The unions end up getting corrupted.
Yeah. The unions had their
Like-
role, and I'm not saying they didn't. But I am so
Yeah,
tired
they-
of the thought process of like, oh, it's only because of unions that you
No.
get X, Y, and Z.
No, it's never been only because of unions. Did
Well-
they help a lot? Yes. Did they have their place in history? Yes. And one of the key
Well-
points is that place is history.
Well, they want to take credit for the 40-hour work week, which is wrong.
Well, they can take
Ford did that one.
they can take partial credit for the concept of it. They can't take credit for the implementation of it.
yeah,
'cause if you
because that
actually
was
go look
Ford
through-
trying
yeah.
to get people in.
Well, no, it was
That was
it was Henry Ford looking at it so that way he would realize that employees tended to work harder when they had the more days off. So instead of working 6 12-hour days, if they work 5 days in 40 hours and have that, they can do more. He's also the same one that did the whole thing of sending like students of his or children of his coworker or of his workers to college for a specific thing to work in his factory, and would actually pay them a wage that would get put
Mhm.
into a bank or to a bank account. So when they got of age and started their job, they could still actually pay for stuff. It's like they could find a place to live.
yeah.
That's why
Now,
he did.
don't get me wrong. Unions
That's why
their
he had
place,
his
but
own
they-
loans for when it or to his own loaning thing when it came to cars, and they were all non-usury loans.
Usury.
Look, I say it how I say it, and if you don't like it, that's on you.
By all means, feel free to say it wrong. I'm loath to say that Tears actually got it right once, but
Fine. How's this
you
one?
know,
Non-interest bearing loans.
That's fine.
Better.
I mean, if you want to call it wrong by all means. I mean, I'm fine with that. But you know,
With the
making
UR,
me
it seems
say-
like it should be Ursurary.
making me say Tyr is right is almost unforgivable.
have
No,
created-
it's
you
Far
have
Cry
committed a grave
5.
sin.
Just playing some of the arcade.
You have committed a gravest sin. You made him admit that I was right. Ah! And Tyr must never be right, for he is black. What?
Oh, so Reddit post got stopped by ICE yesterday as a Hispanic. They asked questions. They asked for papers. I showed them driver's license. They told me have a nice day. What's the big deal anyway? Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
And so, like, that's where the funny thing was of the difference between Reddit and 4chan. And it's the whole fact that, like, on Reddit, you're not allowed to criticize people, like so many people.
Mhm.
And if you can't take the criticism, you can't say that you're like a whole thing of free thinkers and whatnot. No, 90% of Reddit is just a fucking echo chamber.
Agreed.
I've had some people I can play Far Cry 5 with, but I enjoyed enough on my own. Granted, I typically cheat the fuck out of it. Because I use what's known as Wand. It was WeMod, so I can do infinite ammo or no reload and whatnot. Because for so many single player games, I just don't care. Plus, the way they went through it was when like you're actually playing co-op or anything online, the online portion, the mods don't work. Oh, you motherfucker. Getting attacked from all sides because you cocksuckers keep coming out of nowhere. So otherwise, any big plans for the week, you guys?
Nope.
Well, get my replacement keyboard this week since mine has started fritzing out badly.
Yeah, I probably ought to replace mine.
Got taking a friend to office for their colonoscopy on Wednesday, which at least gives me the day off.
Just tell them
not a fan of being a chauffeur.
Not to clench
Not a fan of being a chauffeur, but
name.
Like, ask Dr. Mike Jones first.
Actually, I have to schedule mine. So
I'm getting close to where I might start doing that.
Oh, I am way past due.
That's one of the things I'm dreading. I don't want anybody up there. I'll be unconscious if they have to put their friend up there.
You'll be fine.
Oh, they knock you out for it.
They do? Okay.
At least to a degree. You are not paying attention while they do it, that's for sure. Now for the regular prostate exam, no, that's just rude.
Oh, you.
It's lube up the finger, oil up the finger, and in they go.
Deer's gonna be asking his doctor, do my ankles have to be by my ears?
Can you take the blindfold off, please? No. Oh, okay. Ow! 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 Ow!
Why do I have to wear
Nope.
lipstick?
What is this thing you put on my hand? Why do you want me to call you Betty?
Tier's gonna be asking the doctor why he can feel a pair of hands on his shoulders.
Hey, Doc, is this normal? Feeling, two hands on your shoulder? It is? Oh, okay. Ow, ow.
Yeah, I never played Far Cry Primal. I still have to beat 3 and 4.
I have to beat 4.
I still have to beat 6.
I don't like 5.
I like
6 is the one.
6, it's okay, but it's just meh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to play Resident Evil Requiem while I'm doing this because it's been having loading issues, and even without having a bunch of other stuff, the fucking audio gets desynced for the voices.
So I've got a few of the Far Cry games, and I do need to play them.
That's like, I like the Assassin's Creed games. I just don't really care for the portions when you're not playing as the assassin.
Yeah. The recent ones remove a good bit of that. You don't have to leave with the assimilation if you don't want to.
Yeah, and then 6 was the Cuban one. And then I didn't like how they changed so much of them to for the Assassin's Creed basically to a hack and slash. Yeah, I don't care that the freaking, for so much of your thing, it's just counter combo or counter kill. I was fine with that. Because as they progressed it, there were still guys you could not just counter kill. Oh, shit, that was my team. Because like Black Flag is probably still one of my favorites for the Assassin's Creed games. Rogue isn't so bad where you actually play as a former assassin turned Templar. Just die. Well, I still like Assassin's Creed 3. It's just they introduced the ship portion and they didn't do it as good as they should have. And they corrected that in Black Flag. But like going from Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2, they updated it so you could swim, which was a good add.
Basic smoking rule of thumb: your brisket should be roughly the size and weight of a small child. Don't get them confused, though.
Yes.
Oh, and apparently Chuck Norris had limited time travel capability. He went back in time to be the inspiration for Teddy Roosevelt.
Chuck Norris was bitten by a cobra once, and after 5 agonizing days, the cobra died. Chuck Norris was shot in the chest. And the day after, a day later, they held the funeral for the bullet.
Yeah, I played a bit of Origins, and that one turned it into major hack and slash.
All right, you got to back up slowly. And the tiger got up and did it straight ahead.
Yeah, Jesus can walk on water, but Chuck Norris can swim through land.
Chuck Norris doesn't go swimming. Water just wants to be around him. Chuck Norris attacks sharks when he smells them bleed.
Yeah, so young mother calls police about a kidnapping, and sheriff department comes out and look around. Everything's cute kid. And we know it's hard to get him down for arrest, man, but this is really not an appropriate use of 911.
Chuck Norris can kill 2 stones with 1 bird.
I mean, at least we can say for the week Chuck Norris died, we did get a good first minute win with Afro Man.
Yes,
we did. It's like when Macho Man Randy Savage died to prevent the apocalypse.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
See, it still is my headcanon. Monkey went to sleep, and it was the Yellowstone caldera was going to blow, and Chuck took one for the team.
Yeah. Chuck sacrificed his life to stop a volcano.
To stop a super volcano.
Yes. And Chuck Norris is one of those actors that just didn't really have any, like we were talking about last night, didn't really have any scandals.
Yeah.
At least anything where he was like a sex pest.
Yeah, found
or degenerate.
Yeah.
Say
Sex
found
pest.
this
like
thing.
If Chuck Norris and the person he was with had their degeneracy, that's between them. He kept that private.
Well, no, I'm talking about like a drug addict or alcoholic that ran over people and shit.
Yeah.
That situation.
So that's like love him or hate him. It's the same with Kevin Sorbo.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel like opening a door, so I'm just going to break it.
Ow, cat! Why are you biting?
Because you have a very biteable figure.
She bit my toe. I moved it close to her and poked her, and she bit me.
Well, there you have it. There's your problem.
I had too close toe.
You poked her with the toe, and
everybody loves Magical Trevor because the trick that he does. I was so clever. Look at him now. Magical Trevor is back once again. He doing tricks that will drive you. How to do it? No one knows. He got a magical toe. Sorry.
I mean, you moved your foot and your cat said, so you've chosen death.
So you've chosen pain.
Our battle will be legendary. Cockshot.
I was talking about.
He picked violence.
I have a tactical attack cat.
I know people always love to say you shouldn't shoot someone in the crotch, but in video games, it's always so fucking funny.
Hey, dick shots are fair. The nards are fair game.
Oh yeah. As the old saying goes, you can't turn a kid a taint.
You can't turn a kid a taint. Oh.
No, and if copper jacketed lead hits the pelvic girdle at 1,500 plus feet per second, dude's going down.
I'm more invested in you can't turn a kid a taint. Right? I mean, who? I don't want to know. I don't want to. I want to know, but I don't want to know. I want to say who discovered this information. How did they find this shit out?
It's kind of the way the body is, and I've tried doing game streams. I have a bad habit of not talking as much as I should when playing.
The
Yeah.
you run into the matter of having to pay attention to the chat and interact. Makes it a little easier if you are doing multiplayer stream with a friend, and conversation involves them too, because there's more interaction built into that. And then you just have to remember to pay attention to the chat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we gotta get back to playing the game. Well, like I play on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I upload to stream and I play with the Pribot. We play Smash Out. We gotta get back to playing the game or something.
I mean, depending on the time and the circumstances in the game, I am.
Well,
I mean, you are literally like the multiplayer man. You have a multiplayer game with Hellcat, Mooney.
And what I mean by it's like I don't talk enough. It's like I'll start playing the game and I get too engrossed in the game where I just stop talking in general.
Yeah. When I used to stream fucking I need to get back to streaming fucking rail games because those were fun. That was a fun little stream.
Yeah, I've done multiplayer with quite a few people at times.
Again, you're missing multiplayer. Give me speed and I'll give you a whole way on the rail. Fill my brow with steel in my soul. Railroad. Going to pick up the speed.
Yeah. Well, it's basically like the talking in the void streams just to kind of BS, bitch about whatever. Since my whole streaming thing started with movies. Well, streaming more often started with movies.
Yeah.
I tried some on my own and whatnot, got through a feud where I was fucking around with shit. And then it was the whole thing of one day I was finally like, you know what? I kind of want to see if the Jordan Peele movies are as, anti-white as people claim they are. And it's not really. Not the way some people try to imply.
Yeah.
About
a lot of his movies are at least his first movie, Get Out, was more of upper class.
Yeah.
More classist.
Like The Grandfather was racist.
Yeah, Grandfather was racist. But it was more class based.
Yeah.
They was more class then. And then Us was more a satire.
I'd consider it more like a sci-fi thriller.
Well, it was more of a satire on the monotony of life.
Yeah.
Like like the ending was like nothing fucking changed. Like you're gonna go back to doing what you're doing, and nothing fucking changed, even after this event. It didn't matter.
No, I mean it was that things had changed, and then there was the twist at the end.
Where she's the one here. I really think that I really love that ending fight between her and
Mhm.
fucking
The
her
biggest
doppelganger.
the biggest
original.
issue they had, or I had with that whole story, was the whole fact that they try Peel. He has the issue
his
of trying to
toe. He dipped his toe.
over-explain something.
He dipped his toe in and he couldn't commit to either one.
Yeah, he couldn't explain it properly. He should have left the others, or the others open, just like trying to say, oh, it's hypnosis but surgery, and then with removing a brain, you're not having the whole subconscious of a person there. It's not how it
Yeah.
works.
But I think Nope was perfect.
Oh, Nope
Did
was
not explain
great.
anything. Didn't
Well,
explain anything.
Nope explained animals and had a little bit of the whole like treatment of animals in Hollywood. So like that was actually kind of cool. They didn't explain the creature at fucking all, which was other than it having, animal mentality.
Yep.
Sylvia Shark definitely has a point there. Is at some point not talking is fine though. Streams with insane numbers can't read and respond to them all.
Yeah.
You kind of have to, but you still have to be like your interaction with the game and your response, even if you're not talking to an individual. You get a little bit of what's going on, what you're doing, and everything. Is it's about the journey and reactions. The chat will go on and become its own biome. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But what you end up with is you start out in one territory, and if you grow big enough, you morph into the other territory.
Yeah.
That's why you don't start with the I'm not interacting with anyone. I'm just going to play the game and make the occasional comment.
Well, we kind of have the opposite thing going on when we do Monday nights, Means and Space, because I fucking try to pay attention. I really fucking do. I honestly try to pay good attention to pay attention to chat, but I can't.
An attempt was made.
The attempt was being made. Like originally, when I first started doing Means and Space, I would have my phone on the channel and I would try to read chat there and play the game. But
I got 3 screens, so I look over to my left occasionally and
multiple screens and throw different things on different windows. The only catch I run into on that is that I put my chat in the same window as my OBS, and my main screen is my game. So it's sometimes I have to because getting older and everything, lean forward and look a little bit closer to see what the chat is saying.
Well, I use my television as my computer screen.
It works as one of my computer screens. And M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong has had some good stuff.
What did we? Glass, that whole Glass trilogy, Glass, Monster, and Unbreakable. That was pretty good. The Sixth Sense was pretty good.
I could not finish that. I really couldn't. Sixth Sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah, I tried, and I couldn't.
And I will be back in a moment. Well, actually, no, we got like 10 minutes left to hit the 2-hour mark and then call it a night. So I can hold out for that.
Okay. Great movie, but slow but good. Yeah, that was a great movie. He fucked up Avatar.
Oh, because really Avatar, he didn't really care about the story. For Avatar, he did that because he saw that his kids liked it. And
but he condensed.
And I want to say
But-
even they were like, don't do it.
Well, he tried to condense 26 episodes, like the first book of the Avatar,
Mhm.
into 1 2-hour movie.
Yeah, and it just don't
And
work.
it lost a lot of meaningful shit. And then he got bending wrong.
Yeah.
Fucking got it wrong.
Well, then there's
fuck-
there's the live action variant of it that some people like, but then they change so much of it. It's like, one, the story didn't need to be retold, if we're just being honest.
As they
Nah.
frequently do not.
Like remember, if you've seen where the squad of earthbenders is doing the to throw a pebble.
Yeah.
When if you seen the cartoon, like fucking Toph alone just makes whole fucking mountains move.
Yeah.
Because she can.
Boomy can earthbend with his face.
Yes. Boomy doesn't need to do anything. He just fucking earthbends.
Like when it came to the
Like,
whole
they
thing of
tossed around
the eclipse, homie just straight up earthbended with his face.
Yes.
Or
You
no,
know,
I'm sorry.
he just tossed around whole
Before
fucking
even that,
worlds.
when he has the whole thing of like Aang looking at him to be a teacher, like to go back to the thing, he earthbends the ground around him because he can't metal bend, and bends it with his head.
But he told Aang, like, look, you need someone patient. You need someone who waits. I can't be your teacher.
And no, the last Airbender one was M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dongness. James Cameron was the other Avatar movie.
Yeah.
Which,
Fair enough.
I'm sorry, I am still with Roanoke Gaming on that one. Humanity first, baby.
Yeah.
Like,
Avatar there was no fucking way all right, the whole fucking planet just up in arms dust. We should have nuked that shit from orbit and said, fuck you, planet.
we didn't even need to nuke it from orbit, but we had them at a technological advantage, and there was no reason we should have lost. And
All right, okay.
all it shows
Wait,
is like,
hold on.
yeah, of course, some dude had to freaking wanted to fuck another creature, but he had to get a different body to do it.
All right, I can count that one. We lost Vietnam. Their superior technology can be overcome with sheer numbers.
Well, you say that, but what caused the biggest difficulty in Vietnam was
Politicians.
Knowledge of terrain. We were fighting.
politicians
Oh, what?
politicians running the war.
Yeah, it's kind of like the war in Afghanistan. We didn't lose militarily. The only reason we quote unquote lost was because of the way politicians win it.
All right, okay. Knowledge of terrain,
Dude,
in
we
superior numbers will fucking can trump
Yeah.
tech.
can, but the thing is we fucking stomped them, and then we're told to give to basically give up positions we had. We kept doing the whole thing of give and take for no fucking reason, which cost soldiers their lives for no
Nice
goddamn
shot.
reason.
Right, nice shot by the way.
And we're gonna switch to 1911 because fuck the grenade launcher.
Rocket launcher. Mm-hmm.
No, it's a grenade.
Yeah, and
It's just a-
anytime you're dealing with a war that is being managed by the politicians and for political ends and not by the generals with the purpose of winning,
yeah.
Well,
you're going to
again,
lose.
Again, a technological advantage can be overcome with numbers. Like if I can throw 1 million people at your 5, you're still, even if you are using howitzers, at some fucking point there are going to be 1 million. It's still 1 million people coming at you.
Yeah, but you're talking at that point. You're talking 1 million to 5. That was never the odds in any war we've
And
been.
yes, we understand that that's how mostly the Russians did it. They just fucking threw bodies at it. But again, I bring up the Afghan war in that one because it's the same as how it was done in Afghanistan. We quite literally kicked the shit out of them, and the only reason why we quote unquote failed is because the people that were running it were politicians who didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and they were looking at it as like a reconstructive. They weren't doing it as a war.
Say, didn't know what they were doing, with the exception of some of the politicians that actually wanted us to lose.
And with the whole thing with Afghanistan, other than a quaint few instances which were morally done by politicians or just bad intel, quite literally, we kick the ever living shit out of ISIS and all those other terrorists for 20 fucking years. It's the whole fact we weren't allowed to go through and actually do it as a war initiative. I mean, granted, when we are talking about Islam, which is a backwards 7th century barbaric fucking religion that shouldn't exist, you're probably going to just have to glass out the entire fucking thing.
Soviet shark. The correct term was, I fear we have awakened a sleeping giant. To invade the mainland America, there is a gun behind every blade of grass. Like, it's not. I know I'm being pedantic when I say it, but I do like the saying of a gun instead of a rifle. Gun behind every blade of grass.
Then just imagine if they fucking invaded something like Appalachia.
Oh God! There's a hillbilly behind every fucking rock, and a cannibal behind every tree.
Yeah.
Because like when you look again, going back to Vietnam, or it might have been the Korean War, there were a few things to where to do bombing runs, we were like quite literally told by politicians we could only fly a specific pattern, a specific route, so the enemies knew, and then we weren't allowed to engage with them until we could visually verify who they were, or that they were the enemy.
It boiled down to half of you have to be shot down before you can respond
which is
with force.
Which is why, for one of the things they did to get around that, one of the fighter things that did that,
and
no, they actually got it to.
quickly.
Well, no, hold on, they actually got it to where there was no other flights. No one else. They somehow worked it to where there was no other flights, so they got to engage the actual enemy.
To the point, we were really talking about Avatar and how we should have never lost that fight.
Oh yeah.
Again, dropping shit from orbit.
Yeah.
We should have gone so far out their range and just orbital bombardment. It should have been over in seconds. Like, I don't understand. Again, even then, I get that quote unquote unattainable is unattainable, but we could have found a cheaper fucking source of it somewhere else without a native population that could fucking fight back. But if we had
destruction of valuable resource is part of what you're dealing with there. If you destroy the source of your resource, you're kind of it becomes totally pointless.
It's like but
you have to take your fight closer if your orbital option is complete destruction of what you're trying to acquire. Well, you have to take your fight closer.
It also depends on what they use from an orbital thing. If they use non-explosive, something like tungsten bars and whatnot, you're not.
If you're launching rods from God, it's still doing that level of destruction. It's just doing it with kinetic force instead of.
But you could tell
TNT.
from when they called the whole thing Unobtainium that it was an activist movie, or that Cameron was throwing his activist shit into it.
What we could have done with that tree, like, honestly, we could have said, hey, look, we want what's under the tree. We can move your tree to somewhere else safely, and you could have your tree. It'd be a fine tree somewhere else. Just let us get the resource under your garage.
Such a fine tree.
The parts unknown.
Or if they could actually go about it, hey, we can go through mine, make sure we mine around the whole thing, and then once we've made sure we've gotten what we wanted, we'll replace that with dirt.
Yeah, we'll look. We can find a way. Like, look, let's trade here. We can give you technology that will make you superior to your rival.
Oh, that's the plot of the second movie, is basically going to another tribe, giving them weapons to go against the other tribe.
So essentially, they're doing what we usually do. Again, Jake. Look, I don't understand what alien ass feels like. I don't know. I don't want to. But It must be great if you want to betray your
Look,
whole species for it.
Apparently, some people just want to try to fuck blue women or fish women or whatever. I don't know.
Apparently, if you want to betray your species for it, it must be some amazing shit.
It's just it was Dances with Wolves on Planet X.
And there are times
So
that numbers
he
will
went
win,
native.
but there are also times that numbers don't win. Like back during the Boxer Rebellion with Dan Daly going up against a horde of folks using, Chinese
Kung fu.
weapons and the old meat mittens, and he won. And when the guys that were the other Marines that were listening, because they had to hunker down for the ones they were going with, they thought he died. And when they saw him there reading the newspaper and smoking his pipe, he's like, no, I only stopped shooting because they finally decided to stop coming.
Well, I mean, come on. This is Dan Daly you're talking about.
Yeah.
He
homie
could
has
have won
plot
that
armor.
pointing the he could have won that pointing the gun at them and going bang.
Again, they believe their kung fu could block bullets. And he believed his gun.
Oh yes, and it
Biden.
is how numbers are used, and that was the strategy of the Soviets, was to just keep throwing bodies at it. Like that was a joke from Futurama. The killbots have a preset limit. So knowing that limit, I sent wave after wave of my own men until they hit their limit and shut down. But it's been over 2 hours. We're going to get out of here.
Show me my medals.
I will have a Poor Boy Optics out on Tuesday on my Rotten's Guns channel. And on the following week, I'm putting one out comparing the different Glock barrels I have, from no pointer compensation up to a Radian Ramjet. And spoiler, the Radian Ramjet's fucking dope so far.
Yes.
So appreciate everyone who showed up. We had fun. We had some good discussions. I mean, we really didn't have a lot of what are we going to talk about?
We talked about some guns and some shitty guns.
And next week we'll be doing the review of the third of the James Cameron Left Behind series, and then we're going to go into
World
some
at
other
War.
movies. Yep, this one's got Junior in it.
Yes.
Which we are led to believe is the weakest of them, primarily because they're like, we're probably not going to get another one of these, so you squeeze as much of what's left of the story into this one.
Yeah.
I mean, the last one we did wasn't bad.
No. Again, it's the whole thing that it's not as good as the other ones were. Fun, though.
What you run into there is like, maybe, I understand you might be losing the end of your story and everything, but what you really want to do, just instead of trying to cram everything in, go to the next part of the story, tell that good, clean, go as good as you can on that, and then use what you've made so far to try and leverage to the, hey, can we get more out of this?
You can always just do a future jump as well.
Yeah.
Type thing, and just kind of explain that these things happened. But yeah, we're going to get out of here. Have yourself a good week. We still got a couple weeks until, it's not this weekend. It's the following weekend that it's Easter. And as long as all goes well, I have the 9th and 10th off.
And for the day and everything where we are, have yourself a merry little Marchmas.
Yep.
A merry little Marchmas.
Don't get too belligerent if you partake of any substances, and make sure you have the stuff so that way you don't have a hangover. So have a good one.
Bye, all.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week, or you can check out the other people in the panel in the description and see us again plausibly on one of their channels, or just check out what work they've done. Have a good week, everyone.